So that would, everyone just wants me to tie the game or take a 2-1 lead. How about I just do it myself and we'll take 4 runs altogether? That's the first pitch to Simpson's outside, 1-0. Simpson on the year, batting a .190 or batting .091 as Dykstra deals him a fastball in there for a strike, and it's 1-1. So Simpson only played and started in 7 games for the Cleburne Railroaders this season, so very, very small sample size to judge him from. The 1-1. Check swing, and the pitch is called a strike on the outside corner. A good slider from James Dykstra. He's able to get ahead of the count here. 1-2 to the leadoff man, Simpson. Dykstra's already racked up 3 strikeouts in this one. All of them on fastballs, all of them looking. The 1-2. Ground ball back to the mound. Dykstra will field it cleanly and underhand it over to McCall, waiting at first, and there's one away. Casey Huth coming to the plate, and here's what James Dykstra, you missed when he was out of the rotation. I said it when he initially got injured against Wichita. Man, you really hope that he's not out for long because he's been such a reliable arm for the Explorers this season. And this entire rotation is kind of this way. But Dykstra just reminds me of that guy where it's really no fear of him getting blown up or anything. This one's hit out towards left field for a single for Casey Huth on the first pitch that he sees of the at-bat. So there's 1-on-1 out for Cleburne. Back to the top of the order, and Angel Rosa coming up, who hit his 9th home run of the year in the top of the first, led off the game with that. But James Dykstra, one of those guys that at least he always kept you in the game for Sioux City. I mean, even that game where against Wichita, which is probably his poorest start on the year, where he went 5 2/3, 8 runs, 7 earned in 5 2/3. I remember that game, and I remember saying that, man, he was just giving up so many little hits, little choppers that found its way through a hole in the infield. And I guess that was confirmed to me as a strike is dealt to Rosa, and it's 0-1. When I asked Steve Montgomery before a game against Wichita when they came here to Sioux City, and he said it's going to be different because it'll probably be more low scoring because that field in Wichita, it's a turf field, and the ball jumps off the turf in that ballpark. Ground balls, they find a way to get to the outfield. And there's a lot of hits and a lot of big offensive numbers. The 0-1's fouled off. It's 0-2 for Rosa. Which makes sense. You look at James Dykstra. He's a ground ball pitcher. He was the one to get Lincoln to ground into 5 double plays in his first start of the season against the Salt Dogs when he went 6 shutout innings, allowed just 4 hits, only struck out 4 and walked 1. But got the Salt Dogs combined in that game. Now, obviously, didn't do it in all 6 innings, but he got it started with the 5 double plays in that game. The 0-2's upstairs to Rosa, and it's 1-2. So you look at Dykstra, he's a ground ball pitcher, and even now you can look at that one game in Wichita, and you can kind of point to that and say, hey, there's your reason. I mean, there's just so many. It wasn't like he was getting crushed. It was just one of those games where hits found their way in, and Wichita took advantage of them. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Down goes Rosa. 2 out now. 4th strikeout for Dykstra. Trevor Seeley coming to the plate. He struck out his last time up. The first strikeout victim for James Dykstra when he got caught looking. Rosa, the first one to go down swinging. 2 out, 1 on for Cleburne. 4-1 Sioux City with the lead. We're in the top of the 3rd. But you still look at Dykstra's numbers, and outside of that one game, the most runs he's ever given up in the start is 4. And that is so incredibly reliable to have in your rotation. That one guy that you can roll out there as the pitch is eyeing away to Seeley to begin the at-bat. 1 ball, no strikes. That you just know every time you roll him out there, you're going to be in the game. That no matter what, when he exits the game, you're going to be in it. And for Sioux City this year, that has been exactly what they need, as the offense has been incredible. In halftime, when Dykstra leaves, he's in the lead. As the pitch is outside to Seeley again. It's 2-0. So when we lost Dykstra, man, I knew that was a big loss for how many ever games we were going to lose him for. Just because he is that reliable guy for you. When he takes the mound, you are never worried about, when he leaves, are we going to be down by a lot? Never. 2-0. This one, a line drive over to Nate Sampson. He catches the sinking liner as he goes to a crouch for out number